So today we go to the park. My friend had called me up and she say, Shauna, y'all want to go to the beach? I'm like, I don't really like the beach. But all right, let's go. Me and my family get together, pack up our day, and we heading out to the beach. When we get out there, we don't know that it's gonna be her whole family out there, and it's gonna be like a nice little get together or whatever. So we get out there. It's about 30 or 40 of us out there together, having a good time, cooking and everything together. I ain't too crazy about the beach because there's some other situations that happen. And I was aware of it and always just had a fear of it. At one point, I do like it or whatever. But, anyways, that's besides the point. Whew, just saying that throw me down a whole nother line of thoughts. But okay, get back to it, Shauna. We at the park. She said, let's go out to the water. Let's walk on the water. But mind you, at this point, I got 7 children with me at this time in my life. I get out there and I can remember the number 7. That's how many children I had that was out playing. And I had just had a baby. So I had baby number 8 in my arms. And now I got to keep count because I don't trust nobody with anything. But, anyways, my husband was like, everything gonna be good. Everything turned out good on that day except for this part. As soon as we left from my to the water, you know, the kids go back up, get something to eat, and the playground is like right there where our pavilion is. So me and my friend, and this story is about Coffee with K. She said, let's go over here and sit to the park with the children. When we went over there and sat to the park with them, the children was going down the slide board and everything. And you know how sometimes you as a family, you get together and then there's other people that's there at this park. And sometimes you will connect to them and everything. But me going there and not really knowing all of the people that were there, we were sitting there talking to this other lady. It was 3 of us. Our children were playing. We was right in the midst of them, and we were talking to each other. And I thought she was a part of our party. And so as we standing there talking, all of a sudden I hear her say, "Oh Lord, here he go with this mess." Oh Lord, what? The next thing I know, she's sitting at the bottom of the slide. I'm standing up, um, and her husband, boyfriend, I'm not sure which one he is, pops up walking real fast and aggressive and does the thing like the flinch. You know, that flinch that can make anybody jump because you just don't know what they're going to do. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, what's going on? And then he started saying a whole bunch of bees and stuff, but he was saying like he was going off on him real bad. It was like basically assuming that maybe she had been messing around with someone, but we had been there with the kids at that slide forever and a day. So at this point, me and my friend, we are there and we trying to talk to this guy and tell him that no, you know, we don't want to be in the middle of y'all stuff or whatever, but for sure she been here standing over here with us. We laughing, talking, playing with the kids and everything all in one. But she been here this whole time. And the next thing you know, he tries to swing. And though I knew that my husband was there, I also too didn't think, because I've been in this situation before. And nor would I ever advise any woman to stand up to a man. But then again, I would. Because I've done it several times. When he takes the swing, I jump up in front of her and right in his face. Didn't even think about, I'm a brand new mother for the 8th time. And I got 7 other kids that's there. And this is somebody who I ain't never met before, but just standing there having a conversation, and I see an interaction finna go on. And I'm there standing up for someone that I had just met maybe 3 hours earlier. And the next thing you know, me and this guy's at a standoff and my friend trying to calm me down. And this guy was really, really, really rowdy until he realized that we were not only there alone by ourselves, but there was a group of men that were with us. And let's just say, nothing, when I say the men dealt with the men and us women dealt with the women. And on this day, for the first time, I can say, I watched the men move the way that they moved. And it didn't lead to nobody putting no hands on nobody. It's just like they knew how to talk to the man and bring him down. But now looking back at it, I also realized too that he was very aggressive. when he thought it was only us women that were there. And as soon as he realized us women had men with us, he calmed down. So I don't want to encourage anybody to be doing that. But if you put in a situation where you have to, then you have to stand up. You have to stand up. I've been in that situation more than one time. More than one time. I done told the stories on here before. And when it come down to men, I am very respectful to men. I absolutely am. I would never approach a man disrespectful. As a matter of fact, I probably would. I'm not going to approach a man most likely anyways. But I'm very respectful when I see one, but I also know too that all the time, no matter how nice you show up in the situation, nice doesn't always work. So, and I've also been somebody that has a lot of anger on the inside of me. And so at this point, anytime I came face to face with a situation like that, I had already made a pact with myself. Ain't nobody gonna do X, Y, and Z. And I ain't gonna tell you what those things is, because I know at a certain point in everybody's life, there's a pact that you make with yourself, like a promise that you make to yourself that I ain't gonna end up in this spot no more. And you mean what you say. So still at this point in my life, I've been rescued so many times. So many times from using the anger of all the pressures that I had built up on the inside of me, ready to pour it out on somebody who did not cause any of those issues to me. But looking back at on that day, I was there ready to put myself on the line. And after everything was said and done, yeah, me and my friend had a conversation with her. But what are you going to do to change this situation? That's the kinds of conversations we had with her when we left from there. And suppose me and this guy had got into something, and the way we watched them walk away from this situation was as if nothing had happened, which is a place a lot of us can land in. You're ready to put your life on the line to protect somebody else. And they can walk away with the same person, and they can be mad at you with the person you was trying to defend them from. So she left there. and went back home with him. Now I can look back at it today and say, I always talk about process. Maybe that was a part of her process for her to run into it. Not maybe it was part of her process. It had to be part of her process because it happened. It was supposed to happen where she was there with us for her, us to encourage her. Maybe that was her next step in moving away from the situation she was in at that day. But back then, my thought process was the ringing of what I hear my mom saying to my auntie when I would be woke up at nighttime with her yelling at my aunt about her allowing somebody to beat on her. And those words are, girl, you got to be out your mind. Are you stupid? Are you this? Are you that? You know, and the older you get, the wiser you get. If you'll look back in your family, like if there is a situation where there's that kind of chaos going on in your household, there's a process to that, moving away from that. And sometimes the women and the men will exhibit those behaviors, and there's a process to get that up out of your family, especially when it's made to be normal. Like, and so along this road, there are so many things. And y'all, I know I sound all over the place, and I'm just talking through my thought process and trying to stay on this one story right here. But when you got all the stuff inside your head that I do, one story lead to another story, because then you start remembering stuff that happened around those times and everything. So it's like, ooh, let me stop and pause, because I ain't ready to tell that whole story right there yet. I ain't ready to tell that whole story yet. But there's a lot of things that I done seen. But along the way, somebody have to come along and remind you, girl, you got to do something different. Don't get mad at them people because they be coming along and telling you, because at one point, it's like you done been warned, and then the warnings keep coming, and then after a while, people used to talk nice to you. Now, you know, what, it's gonna be all right. You need to do this, girl. It ain't this and it ain't that. And then after a while, you will start to run into somebody that's gonna take it up another notch, because that's a part of the process. It's like, and then it gonna come to a point is, now you keep on talking about it, and you ain't did nothing yet. You still saying the same thing over and over again. You done came back and told me that story. It's because you moving up. You may feel like things ain't getting no better. No, things ain't getting more easier. And in that situation, you being made uncomfortable. People saying things to you in a different way because it's time for you to move, to elevate, to go higher. So you being made uncomfortable, and you're going to keep on running into those people that be able to tell you those same things that somebody done said to you over and over again. So on that day, when that girl ran into us at that park, yeah, back then when I first ran into her, that was my thought process. Girl, you got to be such and such and such for staying with this such and such and such. And to this day, then go back and see. Um, yeah, I really wasn't that wise. But some situations in my life made me wisen up. And so whatever your process is, I wish you be ready for whatever it is that you're going for, through all of that. I hope you're ready for whatever. Hey, everybody. Hey, Korean and Shauna. How y'all doing tonight? You know me, I come on here and I just be having some words to say sometimes. I be talking, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I've learned how to turn the chat off until I finish talking so I don't get distracted. And then that way people can say whatever it is that they want to say. And let me turn on the camera and say, hey y'all. How y'all doing? Back down. Hey, Shalissa, what in the world are you still doing up? I gotta rewind because I missed what you were saying. Oh, okay then. Well, yeah, you can rewind. I know a lot of times, if you ain't in here to hear what I'm saying, then it goes on. You can't go back. So, but I'm going to drop that and leave it and not make it so long. But Shalissa, I thank you. You're gonna know this story anyways when you hear about it because I think you were there on this day. But you all, nobody has any questions or anything like that about this story or another story. But it's just I was just talking about in this right here is be ready for whatever is coming in your process. If it's gonna be over soon, things get harder before they get better. So hi. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want to make this story too long, and I wanted to be for whoever it's for because this was my thought process earlier today, and I don't even know what made me think of this story on today because I don't forgot what I was doing. I don't know. I probably was having a conversation or something with someone to make me think about that day. Well, I know I definitely thought of my friend Coffee with K. So and she been on my panel before. Uh but I had thought about her and I just thought about that day when and too sometimes things happen with people and you only had one encounter with them and then your mind run back across them. You ever had that feeling like you hung around somebody and maybe it could be years and years down the line and then you just think about them and you don't even really think about it as like that significant and you want to know, I wonder how they doing. I wonder how they doing today. I have thoughts like that about people. So um and right now, y'all, last night I had a hard time. And listen, see, I done started talking already too. So let me go ahead and end this story right here. Um, So y'all can go ahead and listen to that. Deal with because I'm finna get ready to start running my mouth right now. All right, y'all. I'm going to say good night and end this one right here. And I might hit the live button again. I might, according to how I feel. Because I was finna get ready to go in just then, running my mouth. But all right, y'all. Hopefully y'all get something out of the story. Thank you for coming over here with Life with Tashana, where we make sure we always growing in life and growing in the garden. Keep on growing. And if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. So make sure you growing something over here where we call the high class gardeners. High class gardeners just mean we don't play with snakes, bugs, and worms. That's in the garden and in real life. We don't play with that. So hope you all have a great night and see you all in the morning in the garden.